Will Beer and Danny Briggs both became unlikely heroes with the bat, both securing white ball bests as Sussex came from nowhere to secure an amazing one-wicket one-day cup win over Essex and Chelmsford, the victory arriving with just one ball to spare. Batting first after winning the toss, Essex made nothing more than steady progress as Sir Alistair Cook and Baron Chopra opened up the game with a stand of 73 for the first 12 and a half overs, the latter part of that partnership seeing the run rate suddenly increase. But just as it did so it did end as George Garton trapped Chopra in front for 25. Abedini Sikandar followed that up by getting one through Cook to have the Knight of the Realm on his way for 36. Tom Wesley and Dan Lawrence then picked up from where the two opening bats had left off, both somewhat playing within themselves to lay the foundations for a strong finish. The Eagles sort of soaring to a total of 163 for 2 after 30 overs. David Visa then removed Wesley for 61. Visa also accounted for Ravi Bopara, who was taken behind for 3. Lawrence then fell to Mir Hamza for 54. Luke Wright completed the dismissal. That left the Eagles on 209 for 5 going into the last 10 overs, and Mir Hamza kept it tight before having Paul Walter taken by Harry Finch for 11. Visa ended with figures of 3 for 54 as he bowled Ryan Tenduscarter for 35. The innings finished off with a Matt Coles maximum, which saw Essex end on 283 for 7. And for the first 18 overs of the reply, that seemed way beyond the Sharks, even though Wright and Philip Salt put on a sprightly 26 first up. Jamie Porter then bowled Salt for 9. Garton was promoted to number 3, and that appeared to be a wise decision as he and Wright added a free-flowing 44 for the second wicket. But then Wright departed for 30, Chopra with the catch, before the same fielder clung on to remove Finch off Coles for 5. Bopara then disturbed the stumps of Garton to see him on his way for 38. Well, in the next over, Coles found the edge of Visa's bat and then did the same to Brem Brown very next ball to leave Sussex on 94 for 6 after 18 overs. 5 wickets had fallen for just 24 runs in a flash, and the game looked lost for the visitors, but after settling in and taking their time, Laurie Evans and Beer began to pick up the pace. Evans cleared the rope off Walter to carry the total to 154 for 6, 130 still needed of 20 overs. Evans went big again to complete a very good 50, made off 55 balls. Beer, meanwhile, was a revelation. His previous white ball best was 45, and he went beyond that as he took his partnership with Evans to 121. Beer with a maiden list day 50 made from 79 deliveries, a great time to produce his best with the bat in any format. Alas, just at the wrong time, Evans then hit Tenduscarter to Coles to go for 68. With the total on 215 for 7 and 69 runs still required from 48 balls, Beer immediately tucked into Coles. He even struck a 6 off Peter Siddle to take his own tally to 75. Siddle exacted his revenge as this time Beer could only pick out Coles to end a delightful display. 5 overs to go and 38 runs were needed. Time for Briggs to get involved. 3 successive 4s struck off Porter. But there was yet more drama, the over ending with Sikandar run out by Porter, 24 now needed and a runner ball, but with the last pair now together. Briggs, supported by Mir Hamza, kept his nerve, while many in the ground failed to do so, the final over arriving with 7 runs required. Only 1 run came for the first 3 balls, but then Briggs struck Lawrence for 2 successive 4s to complete one of the most remarkable fightbacks in this competition's history. The last pair had added 27 runs to take the game by 1 wicket with 1 ball to spare, Briggs making 37. Next up, it's a trip to Hampshire, the Sharks right in the mix for a top of the table finish.